Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. I'm smiling and laughing here at the start because I just realized that the further out I have my selfie stick, the heavier it gets. I feel it more in my shoulder and biceps, so I'll progressively overload. I'm gonna have to speak louder and louder too. In the end, camera's gonna be all the way over there. I'm like, hey guys, yo guys, it's Theo. Today, little caveat, because I've been meaning to do a sort of video series, so I have to explain why first, before we get to the first subject of the video series. Especially this last year, it's been really getting to me, this really shitty trait with human beings that we tend to focus on negativity. We don't like to look at people doing better than us and say like, wow, what a great person, what a role model, what an example to follow. I'll take this inspiration and put it into myself and become better. We prefer to look at people that we feel better and they're bad, you know. Either we look at someone that isn't actually better than us and make up flaws with them instead of rising ourselves up to that level we feel that they are on. We like to try to pull them down to ours, or we actually indulge in just focusing on negativity, you know. Who is a fake natty? Who is lying about taking steroids? Who is doing the poor information? Who is doing this and that bad? And the thing is, it's hard, because there's a balance. Of course, some people may be worthy of criticism. I am someone that criticizes people, but there has to be a balance, and I've just seen enough as a coach that it doesn't serve you. It never served me when I focused on, for instance, oh, they're fake natty, or they're lying about that, or they're lying about that, oh, nothing is possible. It's like excuses, really, to not face that you could be doing a lot better, that you try a lot harder, right? Yeah, so of course we need to call out dishonest actors, but I'm not liking it's imbalanced. It's way too imbalanced now, is what I see. Why is it such a major topic? Oh, the latest fake natty lie. Oh, the latest fake natty lie. Why is that one of the hottest topic in fitness? Why is it not like, oh, look at this guy, that's really great. It's really great advice. And look how consistent he is. And here's another great video from him, you know. Yeah, negativity sells more, and maybe it always will. I'm still saying that it's too imbalanced. So, since I'm someone that's going to speak truth, I'm going to call out shit too. But first of all, I lead by example. I never criticize someone of something that I cannot say that, you know, I'm standing for the opposite myself, right? And, well, I try to be positive as well, but even then, because that's the thing, criticism is needed to some people, but a lot of people are in no position to be the critic. That's all they do. That's all they do. They never put themselves in the student's seat. I'm like, maybe I'm a little bitch. Maybe I should shut the fuck up and listen, become better, actually stop preaching before I live what I preach, right? But still, in the same way, I gotta set an example and go out of my way to do something that's positive. The focus is positive. My podcast, Human Beings, that has been on pause, that's going to be rebooted very soon. I have many guests I talk to. But the idea there is not to sit and just kiss each other's ass and smile and agree about everything. But I want a tone still that, hey, it's not a debate format. You're not here to have to defend yourself towards anything. We're here to talk about the topics that we're aligned on, you know, and get to know you as a person a little bit. And maybe I'll question something, but from a place of curiosity, always, right? Because I can be more critical in my own content, like just standalone videos. In this video series, I want to do something similar. It might be different depending on the individual. Someone might get more criticism than someone else. But I still always try to make it like this is not a just negative energy farming thing. It's an honest look at an individual as they are. The ups and downs, with, if anything, giving people the benefit of the doubt and being more positive, right? So, today, my first subject for this is a man you will have noticed that I mention quite often, Geoffrey Verity Schofield. I'm crowning him today the king of natties, the king of natural bodybuilding manifestation. It's very interesting. It's an idea I wanted to talk about bodybuilding manifestation in its standalone video. Also, I will probably, but I want to connect it here. I want to, later on, I'm going to come to what that means. And I'll say right away, I'm still going to use my clips from training, and I'm right now manifesting maintenance, okay? In the summer, I don't only do calisthenics, but in the summer I do it more. I'm more just manifesting the same physique until fall and winter comes around, then it's time to push harder again. So, Geoffrey, I think if there's one person you should listen to when it comes to natural bodybuilding, training, fitness, of course, why not listen to more, you know, and always take your own perspective into account in the end. But if I had to be like that as an exercise, who would be the one person you recommend? It's Geoffrey. And do you know why? It's not that he has the best technical information, not that it's bad, but you know, let's say there are some people you could go for pure information, pure training information. What the exercise targets what? How many sets? You know, what is a good rep range? Like all of that you can learn from Geoffrey too. That's why I still put him as the one. But the thing about Geoffrey is he is all about being it, okay? Not just talking, not just analyzing, not just nerding out about, oh, well, this study said this and blah, blah, blah. He'll get into that too, but in the end, he's all about doing the fucking thing, figuring it out for himself, crushing limits imposed by, well, I'm sure we haven't talked about it, but earlier, his own insecurities perhaps, but also what everyone else is saying. And to be clear, I'm not saying that Geoffrey is an insecure guy. We all have insecurities. Clearly, he's a very strong man now. But the point is, we often have some kind of limit we impose on ourselves, and then a lot of stuff outside of us kind of reflects that and enhances that. And so, Geoffrey, to me personally, I found his content around, it was 2022, when it comes to natural bodybuilding and this natural limit that people love to talk about, you know, again, a self-imposed lie that, well, everyone decent looking must be on steroids, so that means I don't have to try so hard, and it's not my fault that I don't get the gains I would have, because I'm not cheating, you know. That's the reason, not my shitty, poor lack of effort. But it's easy to get affected by. Everyone is talking about it. Even if you have a strong belief in what you can do, if you follow fitness content, the message is going to be like, oh, a lot of people are lying. Oh, you cannot look like that. This sign, pretty much, oh, just being too big, just being too lean, just having too many veins. There's so many fucking things people just say, like, that's steroids. So, you know, when you aren't there yet, you're like, is it really true? I mean, I'm in good shape. People are clearly above average shape already. People, I see that from the response I get from people, but really beyond this, everyone is on steroids. Like, I just don't know. And for me, it was around the 2-year mark, a bit before, when I started like, really? Is there not so much more left to be gained here? But I just decided that, you know what, I don't know, but I don't feel like anything is slowing down, so I'll just keep trying and finding out. And I did. Beyond that point, you know, I bulked. Clearly my numbers went up. I was also in a very depressive state for a while. And, you know, when you bulk, put on some fat, you don't see what's going on. Then later on I see when I cut, like, oh, I clearly made progress. So, you know, I start lifting the veil, like, hey, there's a lot of, but there's lots more is on the table here. And so I keep going, but I still, you know, I'm still having this, like, how far can I really get? When will I reach the limit? When it's like I'm operating out of a little bit of fear, like that. Still though, I wasn't afraid enough or lazy enough or anything. I take responsibility enough that I'm going to push and try with all my might, even when I'm doubtful and work out, right? Then in 2022, also during a bulk, also finding myself at a low point, finding some new content creators to me that I haven't seen before, among them Geoffrey, right? And this guy, this guy, he is training with a kind of intensity that I do, and he's preaching it, he's talking about why, and it's good, you know, and he's fucking huge, and he doesn't seem to think he's anywhere near stopping. And I can also tell from the kind of person I am, he is speaking the truth about being natural. I've never doubted. Like, first when I just see him, I'm like, oh man, this guy is natural, those arms, you know. But then I hear him speak a little and I see how fucking serious he is, just like I am with my training process. I'm like, clearly the guy is natural. Honestly, I have Geoffrey to thank for like completely removing, not just raising the limit for what's possible naturally, just helping me remove it completely. It's just, there is no limit really. Of course, literally there is one, but let's not fucking even focus on that. Let's just go find out. Let's just push ourselves, be introspective, responsibility. What can I do better? What can I improve? How can I change this? And so on, right? And this is what I see with Geoffrey, a man that takes responsibility, a man that is the king of himself, that takes in other perspectives, is cautious. We are very alike, but I would say that Geoffrey is a bit more stable and less unhinged than I am, but I see the similar tendencies in us. One being, we probably have to take care of ourselves both a lot. Like we are the leader of ourselves. We find ourselves in the position to often be the one helping the other. Maybe have a little issue, problem with receiving help. I don't know, Geoff. That's what I relate to that. But it's still, there's something great about it too, that you're able to do that. And yeah, it's like I can see, it's like I've said it before. I'm especially right now, because I'm in work mode, creative mode, creator mode. So I consume very little content. And but one guy, if I go in on Instagram, one guy that I might, if I have a moment, you know, my favorite guy to follow in fitness the last few years, it's been Geoff. And it's not been from a place of like I feel so beneath him and like, oh, this guy is so way ahead of me. It's just like so fucking nice to see someone that is not whining and pointing fingers and making excuses, helping you make excuses. No, he is out there leading by example, going after it, absolutely crushing it. And he's so introspective. You know, when I say responsible, is that lots of people that, you know, would make up that someone like Geoff is a fake natty and stuff. It's like, have you seen what this guy does? Have you seen how consistent he is? Have you seen how hard he trains? How much he chases progress? Can you see? I don't know how many times I've seen Geoff do a grindy ass rep. It's like, no way he's going for another one. This comes from someone training really, really hard themselves, pushing beyond failure to different degrees. And also just hearing the thought process, you know, how he's observing himself, how he's like changing up the form, maybe doing something that might seem on the surface like it's not ideal, but he's sharing his, you know, perspective on why he does it. There's like a thought behind everything. Nothing is just left to by chance that, oh, I accidentally changed my form. It doesn't happen with him. He knows exactly what he's doing. He keeps track of Geoffrey at all times. And all the time, introspective. What's going on here? Why am I doing this? Can I improve it? This is why I do it, because he's explaining to you too. So on. So conscious to what he's doing. And so I've suggested to Geoffrey that he is more spiritual than he may think. And you know, that's entirely up to you, bro, how you take that. Yeah, I personally right now, I have a little honeymoon period with Christianity and Jesus Christ. Christ is king. But it's just I've been spiritual for a long time, and I'm just seeing currently at the moment, I'm just seeing more clearly how my spirituality aligns even more with Christianity than I thought. So you don't have to embrace any of that. I kind of just want to show you this aspect of you, Geoff, is what I mean, that you have a strong spirit. Then if you choose to even call it spirituality, Christianity, or whatever else, that's entirely up to you, okay? But first of all, I see that Geoff, he is talking a lot about relationship to self, you know, like I've done this exercise a lot lately. That I talk even about Theo in third person. It is a practice in observing Theo instead of being caught up in all the automated patterns. You really take an outside look from within. You are always inside you, but instead of being like in this fog, you really take a step back and watch yourself. And I see how Geoff, for instance, when he tried fasting, that I'm really proud that I was one influence that pushed him to do that. Definitely not the only one. But I was really proud and happy either way to see him do that. Always thought, because the similarities I saw, that's something that's going to fit him. But yeah, when he was doing that, first of all, even though that's how I see these great traits, that even he asked me for some things about fasting. I'm sure he asked Atlas Power Shrugged, maybe someone else, you know. But I saw then that when he's out doing it, he is doing it. Do you understand what I mean? He's not like, well, this guy told me to do this, so I guess I'll do that. It's like he's gonna have taken in all that, keep it in mind, you know, keep in mind. And then as he's going through it, he is gonna do what he always does. Observe Geoffrey, what's going on with Geoffrey. Here are my values and morals. This is how I want to be. Here are the things, the advice I got from some other guys that are into something similar than me, but have done this particular thing more than me. And now I do it. He was analyzing it just, you know, he is the one doing it. He is taking responsibility for his experience. And one thing he said, that I know this is something I could take many examples of, but one thing he said was, you know, people are like, oh, you're gonna lose muscle, or, oh no, clearly I can't train as hard when I haven't eaten, or I haven't fasted. And Geoffrey, this is exactly what I mean. Just like if you go into something like, oh, clearly I'm not on roids, I don't have the good genetics, so clearly I cannot get that kind of physique. You gotta realize, Theo or Geoffrey, that people that don't have your genetics, blah, 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 completely ignoring the fact that, do you see how we fucking do this shit for years? No breaks. It's like a huge exception if there's a little vacation without training or something, right? Same thing here with the fasting. He's not going into it, like, even though he never did it, it's not like, oh, I clearly be weaker now. And he just crushed his workouts. And he analyzed it as usual. It was really fun to see him hit a couple of personal bests on arm exercises during a fast. He like really hammers down the point. It's like his strongest point. He could take training PRs on a fast. It's like, okay, and are you still gonna hold on to the fact, little buddy there, that, oh, I can't train as hard when I did it fast? No. So this is what I love with Geoffrey. Take responsibility, leads by example. He is also a great teacher, right? A great teacher. And the great teachers, they always are that way because they have been really amazing at teaching themselves. First, they've observed themselves, compared themselves to others in a curious way, not from fear or the other. This guy distracted me by looking back. And yeah, so you know, he knows what's important for people to know. Well, yeah, as not just a teacher, I'm sure he's great with his clients, but I mean also teacher on YouTube and that. You know, he is cautious. He won't speak too soon on certain things. He will, you know, take in enough, but in the end, he will always speak what he thinks is the truth. I think for Geoffrey, it's really important to be right, as I talked about. Not right as in win the argument. You know, that's ego loser motivations. Right as in, no, I want to stay true. I want to be honest. I want to give my honest perspective, even though I know it's going to be controversial, or I know what some people, how they might perceive it. I know that associating myself with this view or with this person might not be ideal for my like optics or something. But fuck it, in the end, standing for what I think is true and right, that's what I'm about. That's what I see in Geoffrey. I see it other way, we're similar. Again, I think, you know, I saw a story he made that was about, someone even asked me if I'm on the spectrum. And you know, the way I view these things with like the diagnosis, ADHD, autism and so on, it's not black and white, and if anything, they are superpowers. You know, you might have to tame them. These superpowers might come with some super backlash or weaknesses with them. I don't know what it would be with Geoffrey, really, but I think, you know, I see this as superpower, so it's clear. I'm not saying this is not derogatory in any sort of way. I officially have ADHD diploma myself, right? I think Geoffrey has a pretty good amount of ADHD, a little bit of autism in the nerdiness, like that. Not very bipolar. Seems to be quite more stable than myself. I'm quite stable in some things, like with my fitness, but like emotionally. I will have I'm on quite a high period now. I will have lower periods. But then I have a good amount of ADHD. I think a little bit of autism in there, and sometimes I'm too literal and shit. No, but one funny thing, I think I'm a little bit more of an extreme individual in some ways. Like, he's clearly extreme in what he does, but still more like just normal, in lack of a better term. But he told me on our podcast, he was my first guest on Human Beings, and I was very grateful for that, to get such a big name. And for me personally, big also. No, but he told me that he had some issues with like people pleasing in the past. And when he tells me, I can see you know, it's that conflict that some of us have. I can recognize so much that on the one hand, you're like, you know, you're not gonna just go along to get along. You're just not gonna lie. Like it's at least not to yourself. If you please people, you know for yourself though. Because a lot of people please without even thinking. It's like a subconscious strategy. Like, yeah, I just gotta make the people like me. Yeah, I agree. While some of us, maybe we were too afraid to speak out. But we know what we really think on the inside. And so I see, that's what I mean, that he's cautious, but he speaks the truth in the end, right? He'll never just lie, never just not say something he thinks need to be said in the end. But I noticed that him being a big talker himself, meeting another big talker like me, I've realized now that, okay, Geoffrey has people pleased me a little bit. He let me kind of run him over a little bit without asserting like, hey, I gotta go, or you gotta shut the fuck up for a minute, Theo, which is completely fine, bro, completely understandable. It's polite, I appreciate it, but just, you know, next time we speak, just tell me if it's too much, just tell me if you gotta go, it's fine. I've learned to understand how I am, it's okay. I guess, you know, what more do I want to say in this video? It's like the spiritual part that I talked about. You know, the mind, it's kind of like, what is your self-talk? What is the most productive thing to tell myself just with words? You know, what's the most important, the most productive way to frame this situation? You know, like let's say, people are lying about steroids, so I don't know what's even possible. I don't think I can make it that far as this guy. I'm not sure if he's natural, you know. If you just choose to look at it, you know, in the same way, you cannot know, if you haven't been somewhere, you cannot just know that you can get there. But you can be like, well, I'm not sure. There's so many people not telling the truth about things, deceptive people. But you know what? I'll just rather give people the benefit of the doubt, because it will benefit me in the end to believe more about what I can do than less. I will act accordingly then. Instead of finding excuses not to try hard, I'll find reasons to try harder. You understand? And then the spiritual aspect, that's the experience aspect. I hear him talk so much about what it feels like, what it is like, what's going on as he's doing this set, you know. That's not just the mind, now it's the spirit. The spirit is the easiest way to take it is the feel, okay? When you feel what's going on, like so physical feelings, but there are other things you experience than, you know, oh, pain in my muscle, right? This observation of the self like this, Geoff, is a great strength of yours, that just because I think you've not been connected to religion or spirituality much, you told me, right? And I haven't myself, but I gradually realized that, hey, that's the thing. You know, really finding my consciousness in all of this, being the one that observes the experience, both with the body, both with the mind, but the emotions, just the sentiment, the feeling, what the sensation, what's going on, and learning what all of these mean, you know, so that you can listen very closely to yourself and find the better solution forward, know the solution forward. And I guess I want to give you credit that I know you know that you're great at what you do, I know, but I'd like to give you credit that you can do even more if you want to. You know, I think guys like us that want to be good guys, you know, there's so much bullshit going on, so many deceptives, so many fakes, so many people that are driven more by personal gain than helping others, that you can almost feel like it's a little dirty for me to kind of start heading like, see, oh, I mean, guys, I can help you with a lot of stuff. You know, I'm not fake like the others. You know, can I please get paid for what I do? It's kind of like, do you see what I mean? Like too nice. The funny paradox with being quite outspoken, quite assertive in many ways, but still like a bit too nice at times. And man, I know that many guys look up to you for other reasons than just training, just the man you are. I see it, I hear how you, just like me, how you take in what people say and you make points about it. You reflect on these things all the time. It's great. Like a teacher, you take in data, another student, and sometimes, well, another equal, you know, it doesn't matter, another teacher sometimes. But you see that it's data, it's interesting information from all the people. And man, just because there are like so-called gurus that do bullshit, they're scam, they're full of shit, they say nice sounding words, but they don't really mean anything. They just say whatever to get a certain outcome, sell their course, their coaching or whatever. You do what you want, of course, you always do. But I just want to suggest to you that you can, because I see, there's like, it's only men that follow you, they look up to you, they think you're a beast, not just in the way you look, your entire mindset, the entire way you go about things. Brother, you can definitely help people with more things than just training. I'm sure you already do by helping them the way you do with training. But that would be my message to you, man. Let me think if I have anything last. I guess, to add on to that point, what I love about you, Geoff, well, I love you, bro. I love all people, but I definitely have a personal love for you, is, you know, you show this, you're so into the training, it's beautiful. I am too. It's just that I am a holistic bodybuilder, it's quite literally, it's like, it's 1/3 almost of what I'm interested in. So, you know, that's why I give you the king. I wouldn't call myself the king otherwise, but you see what I mean. But point is, I know there's another side to you. You're definitely not like a gym cell type, someone that's like in a toxic way too focused on the training. That's just your thing. That's just what you master. That's just what you teach people. And I love that you show your human side also, not just like Coach Geoff. You will show your little dog there. How can you not like a guy or girl that likes dogs and wants to show the dog? It's like, thank you. People are so selfish, keeping their cute little animals to themselves. So I love that. I love to get some of that in with the with the training clips. And of course, I don't know too much about your relationship with your wife there. I would never comment too much on something like that. But I just want to say my impression is that you are a really good husband from everything I know of you. And you give her credit in public, in front of others. Like, let's give a shout out to my wife that lets me, you know, do my thing in the gym, kind of. I love that. Great guy, builds men up, takes good care of the women in his life without being all like looking down on women, not a toxic red pill guy. Another thing I think we have in common was something I had. Yes, I remember now. Like I said earlier, I think the way I look at people is like role-playing characters. Like all the same stats, all the same properties are in all of us, but it's like a 0 to 100% degree, and with so many like infinite traits pretty much, and maybe even a negative balance on certain minus 100% or something, the way depending on how you look at it. Many different forms you can see, but you can see like, okay, we're kind of similar starting stat kind of guy is how I look at someone like Geoff and me. A bit more stable, a bit less weird you are, but you have that weird side. That's the human side. Everything that people feel is like weird about them, that they shouldn't show, which I don't really think you hold back too much. But I'm saying I would love to see you let the weirdness that might not be as weird as I am in the end, but I'd just love to see more of the so-called weirdness, because what it is your uniqueness, is your actual expression, right? The funny side, the childishly funny side sometimes, you know, the cute side, the loving side, right? Apart from the heavy-ass, serious trainer, coach guy that you definitely are authentically, but that side, I would love to see it. That's what I mean. That's why I think you have more to bring to the table than just training. That's right. One more very simple thing that I would suggest, Geoff. Get more sunlight, just a bit more actively, you know. You'll be even more jacked and tan. It'll be great. And, you know, again, you do whatever you want with this message. It is a message of love and appreciation, a message of showing people another example than myself. I use myself as example for many points I make. So to bring someone else in, to teach other people, and then I never want to push anything on anyone like this. I want to present my perspective. I want you to take it in. Then you do whatever you want with that. But I just think you're a great guy, Geoff. Thank you for being you. Thank you for everything you've done for the natural bodybuilding community, the people that want to do it as a more healthy thing, you know, not be dependent on injecting hormones in their butt, breaking laws depending on where they are too, you know. Thank you for that, and I'm happy to call you my bro. I don't know how Geoff views me, but he seems to be me acceptable at least, because he will interact with me. So I'm looking forward to speaking again, brother. It was, like I mentioned, my first podcast guest. We may have him on again, maybe soon, we'll see. Don't want to say too much about that. But that's it. Oh, a short message, only almost 30 minutes. So, you know, for these, since I'm going to be positive and I want to lift people up instead of just putting people down like so many little pleb people that are not kings like Geoff will do. Like, I would say the truth. That's the thing, Geoff. You can count on me to say the truth a bit more directly and more unhinged than you do. No, but I will, for this reason too, I will link the stuff. I haven't read Geoff's book, training book. If there's one book I want to read about training, it's his. I will probably do it at some point. I'll link his stuff down in the description. I do also holistic bodybuilding coaching, jacked and stacked mentally, physically, spiritually, working ourselves, body, mind and soul, becoming that man, a man like Geoff. It's not just about, oh, I learned the techniques. Oh, I understand what muscles functions are now. I read all the science. Great, that's a part of it. But it's being the man that manifests. What do you do? This is the point I had in mind for the video originally. What manifestation is, it's not sitting and saying little magic phrases, hoping something will change. That might be the case. Affirmations might help. You just put a certain belief, a way of thinking in your head if you do it for long enough. But it's about, through your actions, aligning yourself with the outcome you want to see. If you're not losing weight, if that's what you want, if you're not building muscle, if that's what you have to measure, you know, your body weight, your food intake, your gym numbers, you have to make sure that the trend that you want is happening over time. You're manifesting weight loss, you're manifesting building muscle this way. Do you understand? You're aligning yourself with the outcome you want to see. You predict the future, sort of. You read the present, you align, you change, update, and align yourself with the outcome you want to see. So, if the more spiritual side of things speaks to you, because that's what I've noticed, that a lot of the time people know the technicalities, but they don't know themselves. They have unhealed wounds and patterns, subconscious limiting beliefs that they don't know about. I'm really good at bringing this to the surface, kind of helping you. I'm good at the technical stuff too. But that's like, if you feel like that's what you need more, you know, because you will always get everything from me too, nutrition and training as well. But on our calls, that's where we're going to be talking more about. How do we actually figure you out so that you can do these things with training and nutrition? If you're someone that feels like, you know what, I'm probably quite whole, I might have some of that going on, but I think I'll just need a good trainer, coach. Well, go to Geoff, because just like I am also good at the training part, he is even better than maybe he gives himself credit for, I'm not sure. But he is great at that inner stuff too, the self-talk, how to look at it, taking responsibility. So yeah, guys, as always, now I'm too far. It would have been cool to make this video 33, but it's a bit too far for me to just ramble. Now I just do it for the sake of it. So let's end here, guys. Love you, big guy. Hope to speak to you soon. Geoff, love all you other guys. Like and comment, subscribe for more content about fitness, fast losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. A mindset like the one Geoffrey Verity Schofield, GVS, the king of natties, has. Peace.